everyone. So in the same line, this power platform that was built, and so as you know, this is low code platform. This and this is span across all the verticals. Like we do have multiple clouds in Microsoft Office 365 and Azure and Dynamics, and now we also have LinkedIn and a few more upcoming. So this is the core platform. You can host the application that you are going to build it anywhere, and again, as low code, this is very quite easy within buttons click. And this is an overall power platform stack as you see on screen. And I would like to focus on two things only. One thing is the do you see my pointer? Okay, the one thing is Power Virtual Agent. So this is you can imagine the chatbot that we used to create around 6 years back. So, but those were created by IT pros. So they were like very hands-on on the UI side. They were also very technical on the backend side as well. So they had both skill, front end plus backend. Another key point is like AI building. So there are so many products in market today to support the artificial intelligence that we can have in our uh, product. So as I said, this is a low code, no code platform. Still on other side, we are saying AI building. So, lots of machine learning thing that we can include in this. But question is how? So anything that is related to AI that need to have some model and that need to get integrated with your code. But here, literally, it's like no brainer job. With few buttons of click, you can get it integrated. So that's why agenda for today's session is focus on these two specific segment. Yeah, for to support to make this happen, we need to have few other supporting element based on your business requirement that you can integrate. If you want to make your uh, chatbot quite advanced, then you can leverage like Power Automate. You want to get it integrated with your Android app that you have created in Power Apps, your Canvas app, or or the model driven app. So that's another thing. So those are few other thing that you can explore with this. So so once this is the core capabilities of the platform and two focus area for this. So let's talk about specifically one term, that is Power Virtual Agent. So most of the cases you have seen these days, the key is the conversation. And when it comes to the conversation, the main goal is how you can make it easy and make it possible for everyone to understand, like how we can make it natural. It should not be like some predefined set of instruction that end user need to follow for the conversation. That's not an good customer experience. So goal is now we need to make that digital transformation journey very smooth for everyone. So it should be like our engineers, um, they should be quite easily get hands-on on how we can create those chatbots, and on other side it should be easy for end users as well, so that they can easily get onboarded on our platform as soon as possible. They need not to learn any kind of syntax or any kind of, you know, or any specific language or protocol that we guide them. So it's a human sorry conversation that we generally have. So that's the main focus. So in this way, you are going to empower your people and your talent in most powerful way to escalate your digital transformation. And this is anyway going to enhance your productivity and deliver your service, which your customer is required. So let's talk about uh, how in general we do handle most of the challenge. So very common set of challenge those are faced by today's organization is like 60% of the issue that is getting resolved by self-service. In most of the organization, you must have seen when you they generally have a virtual agent or the chat window in which you are just say, okay, hey, my machine is not working, and instant you will get a reply, okay, can you please give me these 4 or 5 description which kind of issue you are facing. So that's how. And this 66% says most of the issue get resolved by those agents. like self-service, and those are actual the machines. It's not like someone is sitting behind the screen to get those things resolved. But problem is when our organization grow and they do have more channels added in this, like channel, I mean to say, you can have this conversation in your intranet site, you can have this embedded into Teams, you can have more channels coming into picture. And as like your web and few like your any external channels as well. So as you are going to add more and more channels, the collective architecture for your backend, that is going to be very disconnected, and it is difficult to share between multiple systems and across the channels. How you are going to capture information which is coming from, for example, web, and you need to share this on Teams. So there's architecture is going to be very complex, and that's how the promise that organization generally do, okay, we can make this happen quite easily, that is going to be challenging. So what happened after this is all the channels, as I said, they work in isolations, and with isolation, like they do capture their data in their own space, and later on sync generally happens. So this recently global study shows that the customer attempt to use self-service before try to contact a human agent, and that's how most of the issue get resolved. And actual customer or actual agents come into picture very late. So, and 90% of us as end user expect consistency and continuity across all the experience. For example, I have sent a request from my web browser, and when I open my Teams, I assume that things which I have communicated on web channel, it should get reflect on my Teams. It should not be like two different disconnected system. So this is the consistency that is required for any business to run. And nearly 59%, or exactly this is 58.5% of the channel, they are managing their data in isolation. So you can see expectation is 90%, but still we are managing data in isolation. So this has become more complicated for the large enterprises. So they have different line of business, that's how they are storing the data, and all of this combined to create a very fragmented engagement experience. So for this, uh, what's the major, or the impact that is going to be have for the customer satisfaction is, let first of all channels get connected, and technically in world now, the enterprise application, the study says only 8.4% all channels, if we say, they are connected, and 21 is the most of the, like if I say 80% of the channel connected in an app. So this is all about how does it look like as on today, but going forward, this readiness of the system for the future, that need to be very strong. And the, uh, in coming future, like some data which is coming for the 2023, they are saying it, we will be almost there, like 73% of channel, that percent of the channel that will be getting connected in short future with the latest technology. So now we know how fragmented we are in terms of where data is going to store when we are going to design such chatbot solution. So why these virtual agent matters? So what's, because as I said, 5 6 years back we also had chatbots, and we many organizations they have built on top of that. Then why this conversation about power virtual agent is coming these days more frequently, and why it matters? As you know, this is the Gartner study that you see on the screen. So it says 65% of the application development, most of organization, the enterprise, they are targeting on low code category by 2024. So that is the target for coming future. And low code, as you know, virtual power virtual agents, similar kind of platform they want to explore in that sense. And new quadrant that you see here is, there are so many leaders in this, and Microsoft is one of them. So and other competitors, they are also trying to build something new in this space, and that's how we are targeting by 70% or 70% white collar worker uh, in the world, they will be interacting with such platform on daily basis in next year. And uh, at least I have seen with most of the customer, this is the story for now. They are even interacting on day to day basis, whether they are going to interact with the banking system, or they are going to interact with the IT support, or any customer facing role. This is the primary for now. For any purchase, buy, return in retail space, it's everywhere. So now we know why it is very helpful for a no code platform to build such kind of solution. So what about the solution that has been already built? So those chatbot, it is really quite hard to maintain, and these are they are, as I said, to create those bots you need to have a strong knowledge of backend and front end. And if you are going to play around with the AI stuff, or you want to analyze, okay, what's going good with my bot, which when I need to retrain it with some more data, or topic I need to get added. So it's quite hard to maintain those aspects as well. So in other terms, hard is also directly proportionate to that expensive. So the staff cost or your maintenance cost, that's going to be high. And another thing is, generally these systems are built by developers and scientists, because AI is again scientist domain, data scientist domain, and developer who are going to build our core system. And but there is another actual subject matter expert who are very known for the space, what should be the right answer for this kind of question. But since all the power of building the application in the hand of techies, and these subject matter expert, they are providing suggestions, recommendations. So there is always a communication gap when such kind of bot are getting created. And again, a bot cannot be more useful, or you can say it is not very much impactful, if they are not going to provide, or they are not getting integrated with backend with a personalized answer. And to get it personalized, sometimes it's quite easy task, but for complex solution you need to have some intelligence behind the screen. So now with Power Virtual Agent, we are going to cover all these aspects of the thing. And these are, I think, few business term I'll skip for now. Now coming back on the technical stuff. So when we say we need to build a Power Virtual Agent, and that is including the AI thing, then as you see in the diagram, it gets starts with the cognitive services. Uh, so many of you are aware of Azure stack of Microsoft. So this is a kind of PaaS services and SaaS services you can think of. And this cognitive services is specific to um, uh, when you need to integrate your solution with any kind of cognitive skills. That could be like, if you want to have some text analysis, you need to have some news search, you need to have some feedback analysis for the language, or for speech you want to get it convert to another language, or vision APIs in which you want to analyze a specific image. For example, you want to get uploaded your documentation for KYC, let system automatically verify this. Or it can be like not related to knowledge as well, or spell check. So many machine learning algorithm which are pre-built by Microsoft, and those are exposed as an API as part of Azure cognitive services. So this is the heart. So once we have this framework for our services, then we had, as a Microsoft, we had built another architecture to build the bots. That was the bot framework. And so that was the more powerful bot framework that was built, and in which we had that capability to provide various input. We had capability to host it to multiple channels, as well as it could run from any device. On other side, since it was also supported by the AI, you could access knowledge APIs, and you can also build the skills with this, and further assistance if required to hand over to, and actual agent that was also supported. So can we leverage that framework as well to build our virtual agent. Okay, now my bot framework is supported by cognitive services, and I do have that capability of publishing this to multiple channels. Then what about low code no code platform? How can I achieve this? This is achieved by this Power Platform. So Power Platform helped us to create a bot with low code no code approach and leveraging the Azure Cognitive Services as well as bot framework capabilities. Once we combined these three, then finally we were able to come up with a framework with name Power Virtual Agents, and there you can see it has more than 100 pre-built connector in which you just create your Power Virtual Agent and get it hosted on multiple channels, I would say, and or you can leverage data from those things. There you can see you can directly access data from LinkedIn, Forms, Medium, and you can also integrate with Power Automate. You can easily call HTTP request, so many things that you can explore in this. So these are the pre-built connector for that. And now we have all these things, as I said, to bridge the gap in which there are subject matter experts who know the right answers, and we do have actual developers who can build the solution. So that was earlier approach, but with new approach with Power Virtual Agent, how it is going to work, as I said, it's for everyone. So main goal is to let enhance experience for everyone, let it be an inclusive platform. So that's how uh, this is designed for your customer, subject matter expert, and IT admin. So let's first talk about customer, how they will get benefit. So from Power Virtual Agent, as they have experience as an enhanced customer, by reducing the waiting time and offer more engagement anytime they need, and they can ask many basic questions, and they need not to go through for full documentation to get some specific information. You can directly quickly ask a question and they can our bot can reply very fast. So in this way our customer are getting benefit. Now let's talk about subject matter expert. So subject matter expert can focus greatly time on going deep into their subject and spend less time addressing the basic customer experience. So this is going to ensure that when customer do speak with a subject matter expert, the conversation is of a great value and going deeper into the subject, not to the basic line of code. And for IT admin or developer, this give a capability to govern and secure the chatbot that we are going to create with PVA. And it's quite easy, as I said, and it's for everyone. So if you want to get CI/CD implement, then it's the IT admin who will come into picture. If you want to get it connected with the custom connectors, or something which is specific to your org, you don't want to expose it to external one, just create a custom connector, hook it here, and it will be used. So that's how IT pro role will be coming into the picture. And apart from this, the final is like someone who is going to design that chatbot. So that's how it's for everyone. So I will skip now this slide. So this is basically the few feature that is getting explained in this, I think, more of the theoretical thing. But now let's talk about how it is going to speed up your process for building the chatbot for the citizen developer. So what was happen earlier is a customer was saying, okay, can I get help with this? And then it was specific information was provided to the person. So, but if customer need to get some more information, it was quite hard to dig down multiple sources and get it now. But now these days with Power Virtual Agent, you can look for current repository, and it's the same time when you will provide the information, you can give some additional information is customer is looking for, and it's win-win for everyone. So that's the situation that has changed by now. Now the conversational API that we are going to have, this is one of the automated tasks. So that is going to be governed by the tools, or the actual platform. Sorry. So There you can see earlier, uh, now we are going to enhance our system with the bot, and on other side the conversation that is going to happen, it's like as a human we are going to interact with each another. A simplest example for this is the screen. So for example, someone has purchased a game by accident and they want to get it refund. So you can see so how the conversation happens. So generally in earlier days when we say, okay, I want to get refund, we generally provide, okay, this is the order number and date, and someone from the backend will review the order and say, okay, we have refund your process. So these kind of manual steps generally take 18 minutes. Actually, behind the screen, the agent is filling those information in the system. But now with Power Virtual Agent, can we reduce this? The complete end-to-end, like ticket creation and everything. So now, since this is a bot, so person is going to communicate in the same way as earlier. So the person is saying, okay, I want my refund. Okay, these are, can you please send me details of the refund or the purchase history? Bot will automatically pull the detail and ask for the confirmation. And once end user say, yeah, this is my order and this is the amount for which I had purchased, at the same time it will get refunded. So it's less than 1 minute task. So there you can see with the manual process it was like 16 minutes. Now it's less than 1 minute. And at the same time, another example that you can look for. So that's quite easy. So now we had that chatbot, and now we know what is PVA, then what's the exact agenda behind the PVA, what's kind of problem it can solve. So when, as I said, bots are quite hard to create and expensive to maintain, and it requires specific skill set. You need to have your front end developer, you need to have your back end developer in place, and they should have a strong collaboration between the business guy who know basically the subject matter expert who know what is the right answer and wrong answer for this. So if this PVA come into picture, when you need to remove all these dependencies, and you need to have more collaborative platform. And again, these bots are not useful, or if they are not driving any business value, so these need to be get integrated with your backend. Like if you have a CRM system, ERP system, which need to get integrated, it's quite easy with PVA. And these are again few connectors. I have already talked about these, so I'll skip this. Now let's talk about how we can create our bot. So first is when you are going to create a bot, so there are few terms, technical terms you need to understand. What are the topic is, it's like mm, which kind of inquiry you want to have, or what's your question, in which segment does it lie. So you first say, oh, hi, can I get the refund? So bot will internally check the which topic does it belong, and then it's going to start a conversation. So once you have those conversation created in your system, you have drafted, you can directly test your bot from the screen itself. And once your testing is done, you can publish it, and then you can measure the performance. Going forward, as you know, there will be new topics coming. You need to retrain your AI models if you have integrated with the AI features. Then this is the place from where you need to revise your bot. You are going to revise your topic and revise your conversation. Now where AI is going to help, as more and more conversation will be coming into picture with a bot, you need not to do the second cycle, this cycle manually. So it is going to auto suggest few topics for you, and then if that's fine for you, you just say, okay, just add this to my list of topic with button click, it will automatically get added. And that's how conversation may need to be revised, and then it's a straightforward way to test your bot and get it published. Um, there are few other behind the screen technology that you are going to use in this. I think we have already talked about these, like Microsoft bot framework, that is going to be the foundation for this, and then virtual assistant, and Then for GUI there is composer service, but I think that is going to, in the end it is the fully SaaS solution, that the Power Virtual Agent in the end that you need to use, and that's for the citizen developer. If someone is pro, they can go ahead and customize based on their own ways using the bot framework. Now let's talk about the complexity. How will the integration of this AI and few other services going to impact the complexity of the system? So PVA, as you know, it's quite straightforward. UI is there. You just go ahead, build the topic, build the conversation, and that's how um, you can build a bot quite easily, and that's very impactful. And it is going to adhere all the security and compliance guideline that's there. Now it's a basic step. What if you want to have some, you want to add some more complexity? For example, if a ticket has been created by a bot, you want to initiate a approval platform, automatic approval cycle for this. So you want to create a ticket. So there are different ways. So Power Automate is one of the connector in which if you want to automate your any kind of processing. Then for fully complex system, there are other ways to handle it, like um, for this you can use bot framework to enhance it a little bit more, and you can the way you can manage the topics. And but for this you need to have bot framework skills in place, so that is going to be a little bit complicated. So let's talk about a little bit more technical terms of PVA. One is the user topic, and another is the system topic. So and why we are talking in this in related to AI is, when we are going to integrate our solution, our AI capability with PVA, it is going to suggest you few more topics. Okay, saying these are the few sentiment I could found from the different conversation, and I see these are the few topics which you need to add in your bot, and those are kind of user topics that you are going to add. And in demonstration, I will also try to show you the different ways or the different topics that you can add, how you can add those. We can go through, and these are basically getting stored in a conversation tree. And behind the screen, we can also have some pre-built entities, and we can have Power Automate Floor bot framework integrated with this. In similar way, we do have system defined topics like greeting, goodbye, end of conversation survey, which help in the detailed analysis of the conversation that happened. So once this is done, then first create your bot from the GUI, and then you can get started adding your topics. One authoring of topic is done, you can extract, you can create more variables. As far as you want to add more complexity, or not complexity, I would say more flexibility to your system, you just go ahead and create that. And if you want to add some flow, use the connector. And finally, once you are done with this, make it public and monitor the performance. And on top of this, multiple language. Why language is important? Because it is behind the screen using the um, our cognitive services, which will be helping us to translate from one language to another. Like I'm in India, if and primary language in India is like Hindi, and if my bot is sitting and catering the person from the US, and now transcription need to happen in Hindi, then I can have those services, our cognitive service, get integrated and multi-language let it handle and get it converted for me. For multiple geography, it's quite useful. So we do have different language support for that. And once you are done with all those multi-language integration, you can directly publish your final solution or your final bot to any of the channel. And my favorite one is like Teams, in which we generally do, and the Telegram, that is also heavily used by our customers. Okay, so these are the few screenshot to get you familiar. How does it look like? Although I will, during demonstration, I will go through each of these, and I will also show you the AI part for that. So this right side screen there, you can see um, it has a screenshot in which one, the chatbot that has been created, in which you need to just type a few things. And Then there is an authoring screen. So this is basically the authoring screen, and this is the test, a chatbot. And there you can define the action that need to be happen. For example, a trigger phase could be something, and then you are going to define based action based on that. So this is the authoring part. So now you create your chatbot very easily on. What's the role of AI builder? Let it handle the AI related things to suggest you something, to you know, any artificial intelligence that need to happen, like suggestions, or there is some duplication of the topics. Let it define, and once we do have those intelligence integrated in our solution, it's very simple AI solution on top of your virtual agent. Only thing is, if you want to create your own model, then there are different way. You need to have those connector, get it published, first build your model created and get it published. For this, you again, I said, if you are going to customize it, you need to have your configuration store into AI builder, and that's how all the prediction, classification, analysis will happen. By default, there are many models, or many algorithms. Those are already there in the system that you can directly go ahead and use as is. And this is the AI builder screen. And why this is important is because most of the feature that you will see in PVA is captured from here. So this is the place where all the default models are getting published, and PVA is going to use it from here. So one is the category classification, and another is the entity extraction. So majorly entity extraction is heavily used in most of the cases in which we generally say, okay, I'm not sure which kind of phases I need to extract from the specific uh, like conversation. And then if you have all those tracked, store into database or in database table, just directly go ahead and integrate that. Select your table, select the column, and it will extract everything for you. And few major thing is like sentiment analysis. This is very critical during your conversation with the customer. If you get to know, okay, this is like very hectic, customer is not happy with the response bot is giving, so on the fly your PVA can get to know, okay, with the sentiment of the text which I'm getting from the customer, it's negative. So it's best to hand over the conversation to the actual human. So rather than dragging it back and forth. So that's really critical in terms of customer satisfaction. Another is the text recognition. Sometime with the help of PVA, we ask customer to submit some document for KYC, and let form should automatically fill rather than end user getting it to or pushing some values to us. Or sometime for earlier we were having a look on the getting the refund of specific purchase. If on the screen in front of camera I can show the actual order detail, then with my PVA, if it is integrated to text recognition, it will automatically pull all the information from the screen, and it will capture, and if required send it to the further CRM or ERP system for the further processing. So these are very few services which is projected here that you can use for your production grade system to get implemented. And so this is one screenshot that is going to talk about the category classification. So uh, different type of data which is coming into system, you need to categorize it, whether this is like good, bad, quick, powerful, and based on the the conversation that is happening. So like easy to view data, it's like it means say uh, with suggested tag is like easy is heavily used, and easy of the uses of the data, those kind of percent. Again, behind the screen it's the ML algorithm which is running and extracting the information. And being a big organization, if we are going to capture some data and retraining our model, in that it's getting real time get reflected on the screen, like the accuracy is very high. That's why. Otherwise, if we need to create our own model for the same thing, we need to have those additional resources for creation as well as training our model, and then redeploy those model into system and get it integrated. So That's how it's pre-built for now. Now for entity extraction, as I was saying, if you have some data into your system, if you want to extract like entities out of that, so first select the source of your data, and then system will automatically pull all the information throughout, and based on all the values it will suggest, okay, this looks like an organization name, so it will create these tags for you. This is like date time, again date time, temperature. So all these phrases are already extracted. So earlier in bot framework we had to specify those format. We had to say, okay, the, and then we generally specify those syntaxes. Okay, this is going to be a tag with name, organization, then few text, and later we say, okay, this is going to be date time value. But with help of those AI capability built in Power Platform, it's quite straightforward. In this way it can automatically extract those values, and you can put those into system. And this is the way, once you for example, it has analyzed the text and it say, okay, this is the Spanish value, and then y- two entities that has been extracted. These you can use directly in a flow or an app, and then you can integrate these flows and app into your PVA. Now, this is, I think, going to be the last slide on theoretical point of view. So this is the overall AI capability that is under the screen going to be run for your PVA or the Power Platform. So one is, it's in the core, it is NLP, and the traditionally all intent trigger for formation was like multi-class classification problem, in which we were trying to segregate the category, and that's how we were building so many new models. And with Power Virtual Agent, it hosts multiple AI model and capability into single service, and the core of which is transformational based natural language understanding, the NLU. That's the core model for us. And this is basically different from the traditional approach. uh, our Power Virtual Agent language that understand model use, for example, uh, it's basically an example based approach, and which is powered by the deep neural network that has been built by our uh, AI team, and those are hosted there. And for such large scale model, as I talked about earlier also, to maintain those model to be more for more accuracy, we need to have large number of data. And that's how such large models need to be trained once with massive amount of data using AI supercomputers, and those are quite costly if we need to host those in our infrastructure. And later those once those are trained, it's quite easy to export and use them for the specific task. Same it is happening here, those models are trained on the supercomputer, but here for PVA those are hosted to for the directly use, and further no training required. If required, it is retraining. That's not that much costly as compared to the initial task. And again, it's part of Microsoft AI at Scale initiative, which is basically changes the way AI is developed, and it also provide an intuitive way for bot maker to work on the bot content, and as without having any involvement or AI expert in their team. So that's how it is the core capability of the platform. Uh, Now, let's quickly have a quick demo. Uh, Let me see. Okay, so the screen that you see here is the Power Virtual Agent So this is basically the home screen in which you can create your own bot. I have created just a test bot, and in which if I'm going to say hello, so it will respond me back. Okay, I'm the virtual agent. How can I help you? Now, question is from where it is coming. So If I'll click on this, there you can see it has been moved to topics, and that's how it is extracting the phrase. So this is the trigger phrase. If I'm going to write hello, hello agent, good afternoon, good morning. So these are the 52 phrases based on which it will trigger this particular topic. And then this is the flow for that. There you can see on the screen it is asking for, hi, I'm virtual agent, how may I help you? All these are written as part of this flow, and nothing after that. That's why it stopped here. So if I will say refund, so then what is going to happen is refund specific trigger point is in many of the topics like return and refund, return item. There are few more. So now at this stage, bot is not sure which one to trigger. So here this AI capability come into picture. Prior to this, so since I don't have much data to train my chatbot, otherwise once I'm going to select like return item, and I do this repetitive and it is done by many customer, then my bot is going to be trained. If someone is going to ask only for refund, it's mean it is related to return items, and anyway it is not going to made all these updation by itself. It will just get to know, okay, this is the pattern which I could found based on various conversation. Later on when I will go for my AI capability, it will show me. Okay, now it has triggered the flow. If I'll click on this, it will show me the detail of that. There you can see trigger phases. I want to return a product because this is part of the return topic, and there you can see all the flow item which I had asked, and there you can see it is one of the variable which I'm using. So this is the based on topic it is trying to extract. Let me show you all the topic that has been created. There you can see I do have many duplicate topics created, and reason for this is I few are in off state. So uh, if I will enable this, then technically my bot should get confused. Okay, same thing is getting asked in this. If I'll click on this, so there you can see these are the trigger phases. And if I'll go back and if I'll check this enable one, there you can see because I have copied the same item from there, same trigger points, you can find it here. It's mean for same trigger point I do have different flows. Now my bot will get confused, okay, which one to initiate. So there we need to have those capability we need to kept in mind. So this is the same trigger phases that you can see, but if you want to have a look in the flow that has been created for this topic, you just need to click here on the authoring template, and there you can see the message that is going to be asked. And I have created, okay, if uh, I will say, okay, stores nearby me, and these are the location. Okay, let me ask a question. Stores near me. So it's again tagged to this topic. It will take some time, and because it is scrolling all the topics, and then it will ask me, okay, which store you are going to explore. I do have multiple options for you, and then it will give me these options. So this is all about the topics, and in same time as we had talked about the entities, there you can see these are the few entities that has been created in the system. So like there we could see date and time and country. So these are the few entities, these are the system entities that has been created, and these are the pre-built. You can create your own based on the sentence and phrases. There you can see these are pre-built, and these are the user input based on which it is pulling the information. Now I have set up all these things. Let's go to analytic piece. So this is basically data driven analytics which is happening based on the conversation which I did with my bot. So I have one dashboard ready. So this is a high level overview of the bot. I took around, I think 1 hour back, the screenshot, not the screenshot, it's the actual picture. There you can see when I end my conversation, we generally have the survey. So I can see the CSAT survey. So analytics is already in place. So what's the rate of when call was not formally closed? Like as you could see, I had just click on something else. I had not closed my call properly. So those abandon rate, what are those, and what is the resolution rate of the actual issue in which my bot will say, okay, was I able to resolve your queries? If yes, no. So these are few insight and a few graphs that you can use for your for your further analysis and improvement of your models or your chatbot. And these are detail of that if you want to have a look. Like escalate, this was hardly used and impact was negative. So uh, like those were not answered. And same time, get store location, it's very slow. And for this there is no escalation because straightforward there are few options. I just go and click those. So these are few data for analytics. Now coming to the AI capabilities, let me click on the AI capabilities here. Yeah, this is the core. This is the basically new feature that helps us to improve our bot. As I said, we need not to continuous monitor our bot to get it improve. So there are few things like if I'll click, so I have already automatically on most of the AI capability. One is the overlay detection. As I said, there are multiple topics, and I have shown you for the chapter 2, I could see find store near me. It was getting repeated 3 times. What if I turn on all these three? So it will detect then duplication. Okay, this topic is duplicated and your bot is getting confused again and again with specific topic. I need to get trigger for this question. So what are the overlapping topics? So as I click on this, you can see I may have more copies created for this. So these are the two things which are getting repeated again and again. To get more insight, I'll click on this. There you can see these are the overlapping trigger phrases. So same thing is there in get store location, and same thing is there in lesson 2 simple topic for condition and variables. So most of the things are getting repeated because I had just made a copy of that. So that's how my bot, that's why my bot was asking, okay, for which specific, what's your exact question that you are asking? Can you please select one of those? So this is the overlap trigger. If I'll remove this, it will remove it from my actual topic for this conflict. Okay, I just need to click on save. So this is the overlapping for the specific topic that is generally identify automatically. And what about the new phrases that coming into system? Because every day when new customer will get added, you may not sure which kind of question they are going to ask, because every end user have their own way of chatting. And here we are saying this is like a natural way of connecting with your end users. They can chat like they are interacting with the human. So the critical thing is topic suggestion that comes into picture. So our this feature will automatically analyze your chat transcripts behind the screen, and then it will extract the new topic out of that you can use. So currently I don't have much data into system. I don't have much data. Otherwise, this is the section in which you will get to know, okay, these are the few new suggestion for you that you can use further for enhancing your bot. And that's going to be very simple. It will list all the new topics. You just review it and click it, okay, go for this, and it will automatically get added. And they it in similar way it is going to have few off track conversations. So okay, something goes wrong. Otherwise, it was also trying to show me the conversation which did not went well, and it was giving me few suggestion around those. And for new suggestions related topic, it will look something like this. Like here we do have something suggested. I just need to click on this to get it added to the existing topic. In similar way, that is going to work for the AI capabilities. So I think uh, uh, that's pretty much on demonstration point of view. I think you can add to your own AI models as well, but that is going to make it a little bit complicated for now. For the basic for AI capabilities, these are the few features that you can explore and get your system integrated with your underlying um, uh, internal pieces. So now any Other question, I'm happy to answer because we do have only 7 minutes left.
Hi, Reno. That was amazing. That was so informative and so full of information, right? Yeah, it's actually quite mind-blowing the amount of information that you've gone through. So thank you so much. That was incredible. We did have a question in the chat actually, and the question was, does it extract names of people? But I'm not entirely sure which particular part of the session that referred to. So I don't know, Abdul, if you are online and if you could just maybe post a clarification to that question, perhaps we could get Renu to respond, unless you know where that was, what that might relate to, Renu.
Again, it's my assumption, might be it is related to the area in which I was showing. From the entity, it can automatically extract the detail, like which entity I need to create, whether this is age, time, or the country name or something else. So name is quite difficult, and although it can deduct, but it is not 100%. When why I'm saying it, I have seen name many people name, like I met one lady, her name was India, and India is also name of a country. In similar way, I met a lady, her name was May, that is May, that's name of a month as well as name of a person. So I would say it can extract those information. It's as I said, it's like the same way in days is we were designing our chatbot. It's work in same way because that's the core framework it is using behind the screen. But accuracy, it's more than 96 to 97. I would say there are few exception. As I said, the based on May, it could consider as name May of something else as well. So that's the thing. Any other question?
I don't actually see any other questions. There is a comment that we may have to use trigger phrases for names.
Uh,
Um,
Trigger phrases for names, I don't think so. It's a good idea because name are infinite. You can have any name. So generally, trigger phrases are very common things that we generally use to ask a question or to ask for a help or to ask for any kind of information. So that's why trigger phrases. Okay, this is we may have to use trigger phrases for the names. Okay, I think we generally use overall topic name. So as I said, hi, hello, how are you? These are the trigger phases of one of my topic, which is just to initiate the conversation. So that is the overall name of the trigger phase. So set of those phases. So that is going to be name, and under that it's a complete flow. So if you are asking the trigger phase names, that you need to have that, you need to
okay,
have that logical name, so that in future if you need to modify your topics, it would be easy for you to handle that.
perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Rena. And as I mentioned, that was a great presentation. I totally agree with you about the names. I've got a friend called May. Actually, she's just recently become a Microsoft MVP. And also I have a friend called India and a daughter called Daisy. So I think there, many names, right, have dual meanings. So I totally get that. Makes perfect sense. Thank you very much. If I could ask you, please, possibly to share your contact details in the chat, if that's okay, if anybody would like to connect with you, or if any of the attendees have any further questions that they might think of, as they go away and sort of digest all of the information that you've shared, that would be great. Thank you very much. But other than that, thank you very, very much for your time today and for the great session.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
I'll
you.
post my details, and feel free to reach out to me for any clarification query related to Power Platform or the dynamics. I'm here to answer.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
So that was a fantastic session.